What's up, YouTube? This is going to be my second time trying to make this video. First time my camera kept falling. Hopefully this one it doesn't fall. Little kind of ticked off. I found out my my 2-in-1 laptop / tablet I cracked my screen on. At least thank God it's still usable. At least for what I need it for the most part that I can tell. But anyways, you know, I'm sitting down here in Louisiana or Mississippi right now, sorry. On my way to Florida. Down there to Kissimmee. Kind of like that name. Wife didn't like it though, but she told me don't get any ideas. But anyways, this video is for, or it's about per diem. Lately, I've been seeing on Facebook, you know, in different groups, people asking, you know, is it a good thing to be on per diem? Is it a bad thing to be on per diem? You know, vice versa. Pretty much, I was talking with somebody and I told him, you know, instead of me typing out a whole thing, I'll just make a video on it. That way, you know, everybody can see it. I'm not just going to sit there and copy and paste everything and send it to somebody. That way, kind of helps them get an understanding for it as well. Just in case something gets messed up in the typing. But, with this being said, is per diem good? Yes and no. It's like everything else in the world. You know, it's got its positives and it's got its negatives. If you're the type of person that needs more money, you know, every week, then in a way, yeah, it could be a good thing, you know. But with these numbers, you know, grab your pen, grab your paper, write them down with me if you feel like it. I've done everything on a calculator, so all my numbers should match up. I mean, feel free to double check me if you want. We're going to base this off of everybody running, say, a 2,500 mile week. No more, no less. You know, obviously, if you make more, if you run more, you run less, obviously your numbers are going to change. But just for situation status-wise, I guess you can say, we're going off of just some average, very easily, you know, very easily accessible numbers. So, okay, we got 2,500 miles a year. 2,500 miles a week. And let's say the average person, you know, makes 35 cents a mile. Obviously, every company is different, so for your situation, put in what you make per mile. Let's say you're home 6 days a month. No matter where they fall in the month, you know, out of that 30, 31 days in that month, you're home for 6 of them. Which means, you know, for example, you go out for, you know, 2 weeks, you take 3 days off. You go out for 2 weeks, you take 3 days off, all in the same month. Let's say you're home 6 days out of that month. Okay? Which means your total in a whole year, you're off for a total of 72 days. Which means you're working, and there goes my camera again. Give me 1 second, let me pause this. Alright, I think it's my charger holding my phone down too much. But, like I was saying, 72 days off a year. That means you're working 293 days. So, when you want to figure it out weekly to do a whole, you know, to figure out numbers for a whole year, pretty much 72 days off is 10.2 weeks. So we're just going to say 10 weeks. You're off out of the year for 10 weeks, which means you're working for 42 of those weeks. If the lighting keeps going off and on like this, I got my TV on. Extra backlighting, I guess you can say. But, anyways. Okay, so 2,500 miles a week. And you're working 42 weeks now. Because you're off for the 10. So, 2,500 miles a week times 42 weeks equals 105,000 miles in 1 year. Okay. Let me grab my little cheat sheet here so I can figure all this out together. At 35 cents a mile for 105,000 miles for the year, you're making a total of $36,750. Decent money, you know, not too bad. And then if you're on per diem, and that's off per diem, by the way. That's your 35 cents a mile. Because obviously, you know, every company that I've worked for, they charge you roughly 2 cents a mile to be on per diem. So out of that 35, now you're making 33. So on 33 cents a mile, for 105,000 miles in a year, you're making $34,650. So it's a difference of $2,100. I didn't actually add that one. That was just off the top of my head. I ain't doing too bad. But you got $34,650 at 33 cents a mile for the year. So right there, $2,100. That's a little bit difference. You know what I mean? That's money out of your pocket. Now, granted, out of that 33 cents, 11 cents of it is tax free. Because they charge you 2 cents a mile to be on per diem, but then they take your 33 cents and kind of split it up. Put some as tax free and some being taxed. So we'll get into all these numbers here in just a minute. Now, when you're off of per diem, or even when you're on per diem, it kind of plays with itself. When you're off per diem, by law, last year, I don't know if they changed it for this year yet or not, but as of last year, you're able to claim $59 a day for your food expenses when you're gone, 100 miles away from the house. So you got $59 a day, times your 42-day work week. I mean, your 42 weeks, or your 293 days. Let's do it that way. $59 a day times 293 days that you're actually working is $17,287. Okay, that is money that the government is saying that you need for your food expenses, your cost of living, I guess you can say, when you're out on the road. Now, let me get my train of thought here where I was at. So you're making a total of $36,750 at 35 cents a mile being off of per diem. Okay, so we're going to do these numbers off of per diem right now. Okay, so you got $36,750. That is what you make at the end of the year. Now, when you go to file your taxes with your tax agency, you tell them, okay, you show them obviously your W-2, and it shows that you made that much. Then you throw in your per diem on top of that. That's $17,287. That comes right off the top of that $36,750. So that leaves you, if you subtract them, that leaves you with a total of earning money of $19,463 in a year. That's taxed. So, you just cut your almost $40,000 down to almost $20,000. I mean, granted, there's a little bit less than that, but you got your money there. You got your $17,000 there that wipes it out. I mean, that obviously, if you don't have to pay taxes on such a high amount, you get more back at the end of the year, depending on your living status, your filing status. Now, with that being said, now let's go to per diem. When you're on per diem, okay, you're making your 33 cents a mile, okay, for 105,000 miles in a year. That's $34,650. Now, out of that, they're only taxing 22 cents a mile. So, because you got your 11 cents a mile times 105,000 miles is $11,550. That is tax-free money that you're making for your food. So right there alone, you got $11,550 versus $17,287. It's a difference of $5,737. It's a big chunk of change that's tax-free. But I'll get into that in just a minute, so give me a minute. Now, you have your 22 cents a mile that you're actually getting paid because your 11 cents, is tax-free. That comes out to $23,100 in a year. So you have, instead of making your $34,000 being taxed because you have your 11 cents, per diem price on there. So now let's go to just bottom numbers, okay? You're being paid 22 cents a mile that's taxed when you're on per diem. And at that yearly rate of 105,000 miles, at 22 cents a mile, that's $23,100 that you are going to be taxed on at the end of the year. Now, if you're off per diem, you're being taxed on the $19,463. So you're getting taxed on a little bit less money, a total of, it's actually $3,637 less of what you're being taxed on. So, I mean, there's a difference there. Now, what you can do, I've heard you can pay, that you got to pay penalties or something, but I'm not sure about that. Don't quote me on that. Never had to really mess with it. A lot of people don't even bother with it when they're on per diem. They don't bother with hassling with it at the end of the year. It's all up to you if you want to or not. But when you file your taxes at the end of the year, you know, you get with your tax agency and you tell them, okay, you know, they paid me 11 cents a mile for my per diem. There's a difference, you know, of X amount of dollars because I'm not getting paid the $59 a day total, which is at $17,287. Instead, I'm making, you know, I only was paid, you know, $11,500, so you got that $11,550. So, you know, that difference of that $5,737 there, you still make that, you know, that's still your money. Don't get me wrong, that's still your money. So you can claim that at the end of the year on top of your per diem that you've been already paid. Now, like I said, I've heard you got to pay fines on that, but I don't know. So ask your tax agency, find out for sure. But as far as number-wise goes, you know, me personally, instead of going through all the hassle of trying to claim that extra $5,700, I'd rather just say screw it, and at the end of the year, you know, I'm taking my $36,000 and wiping the 17 off of it and paying taxes on $19,000. Done, easy, you know, instead of paying taxes on $23,000, you know, which a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people don't realize that they can claim that extra money. So, I mean, feel free to claim it. You know, talk with your tax agency about it. You know, claim that extra $5,700. I mean, hell, it's yours. Use it. You know, like that commercial. It's your money. Use it when you need it. You know, you gotta use it at the end of the year. You know, claim that. But a lot of people don't. They don't realize it. So, I mean, they're paying taxes on $2,300. I mean, on $23,000 versus $19,000. You know, so I mean, there's some numbers there. But I'm gonna keep this video a little bit shorter. So we're just gonna wrap this up real quick. So pretty much, you know, hopefully you wrote it down. If not, replay the video. You know, write the numbers down and look at your situation. See if you need to be on per diem or off per diem. See if it's, you know, everybody's situation is different. So me, myself, yeah, per diem was not a good thing for me. I stayed off of it. You know, some people, they need to be on that per diem. They live with a tighter budget. So, I mean, you know, like I said, everybody's different. So, is it good? Yes. Is it bad? Yes. I mean, it goes back and forth. It all depends on everybody's situation. So, this is just the numbers. You know, obviously, you can figure out how many miles you're running in a year. Obviously, figure out your pay. You can use the same ideas that I did. Figure out what's actually best for you. These are just oddball numbers. That's a good average, you know, across the board. So just remember, you know, you got your 2,500 miles a week, average pay of 35 cents a mile, or if you're on per diem, 33 cents a mile. Now with that 2 cents a mile that you pay the company, who knows what they do with it? They might donate it to charity. They might, you know, use that for your company's barbecues, or, you know, who knows what the company actually does with that money. I've never bothered to ask. You know, it might be to pay an extra tax person so that way you get paid extra money. I don't know. But anyways, you know, so remember your situations there. You know, figure out your time that you're physically at home and your time that you're away from home on a good average for a whole year, you know. That's why I said, you know, 6 days a month, that's 72 days off a year. If you go out for 2 weeks and you're home for 2 days, obviously it's going to be a little bit more time that you're working, a little bit less time at home. So I mean, you got to play with your own numbers there. But this is just a good average, you know, 6 days off a month, 2,500 miles a week, totaling, you know, $105,000 a year, 10 weeks off, 42 weeks working, and figure out your money, you know. Like I said, right there is all your numbers. So I hope you understand it. If not, you know, put a comment down in the box below. Feel free to email me, truckerqa@gmail.com. Once again, truckerqa@gmail.com. And, you know, I'll try to answer you, help you out, if I can. Like always, like and subscribe. Share it with your friends. Share it with your other trucker buddies. Especially if they got questions, point them to my page. My YouTube channel, obviously, is truckerqa. You know, with the little the little backslash in there. It can be tricky to pull it up sometimes. I've been trying to search for my own videos, and I pull up other people's videos. So, I mean, that's why it's a good thing. Subscribe to my channel. You'll always have my videos whenever they're coming out. I'm going to try at least one video a week for sure. Maybe a couple more depending on, you know, the situation in my trucking life. You know. But with that being said, be safe out there. Keep that shiny side up. And, hell, have a good one. See you on my next video.